You're listening to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast with Wendy Johnson, episode number 16.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast, where women come to be inspired and motivated to become the best version of themselves and elevate the quality of their everyday. Now, here's your host, certified life coach, Wendy Johnson.
Hello, beautiful friends. How are you today? I am doing splendid, and I am excited to talk to you about today's topic, and that is the power of making big decisions. But before I do, I just want to tell you that I got away during my recovery for my knee, and I spent 3 beautiful nights in downtown Seattle, and I tagged along with my man while he was at a global fraud conference. And I enjoyed the room, the gym, the spa, and I got an amazing facial while I was there. And I ate the best food, all within a block of my hotel. But the funny thing is that I was 2.5 blocks away from the Nordstrom, the original Nordstrom's. And I didn't even make it there because by the time I got out of the hotel and outside, I felt like I had already gone a block. And then I had another block to go to reach all the restaurants. And it's incredible that I did not go shopping at Nordstrom, but I'm on crutches and there's only so far I can make during this time. So I just wanted to share that funny incident with you that is hard to believe that I wasn't shopping because I grew up going there for my school shopping, either in Spokane or Seattle. And for me not to go there is a pretty big deal. But I made a decision to not do that and to not wreak havoc on my body to get there. And the reason why I'm talking about making big decisions is that I used to be a person who was so indecisive. Are you indecisive? Are you a procrastinator, overthinker, or a perfectionist? Then you'll want to take a listen to this episode. Making big decisions can be so scary and overwhelming, but it's important to remember that when we make a decision, it has the power to shape our life and allow us to grow, whether it's deciding to change careers, end a toxic relationship, or move to a new city. Big decisions can be life-changing and transformative. And when it comes to making decisions, many people get stuck weighing pros and cons and mentally running through all the possible outcomes and not having a clear way to achieve the outcome that they really want. And as a result, they end up overthinking. They may pull friends and family for their thoughts. And many of those thoughts are unhelpful. And getting stuck and avoiding the decision altogether is the outcome of making this big decision. What this is called is decision paralysis. This means that you have a fear of making the wrong choice or choosing something that you'll regret later. And being afraid of not making a decision can leave you frozen in place and not moving forward. And this can affect your confidence, happiness, and overall emotional well-being. And if you're not getting momentum going in your life, then look at where you're not making decisions. So let's start with what is a decision? And a decision is an act or process of deciding or choosing for yourself. And there's so many reasons why making big decisions can be difficult. And the first reason is it's emotionally discomfort that we feel. And it comes along with making a big decision. And we may feel fear uncertainty, doubt. And it can be tempting to stay where we are and in our comfort zone and avoid making a change. We think about it, but then we put it off and decide to not do it. But it's important to push through the discomfort and trust that the decision will ultimately lead you to where you want to be. And discomfort is where the magic of life lies. And making a decision is going to require that you feel the emotions that come up. And another reason why making a big decision can be difficult is the way our brains work. And our brains are wired to avoid risk and uncertainty, and makes it difficult to make a decision. And it involves stepping out of our comfort zone and knowing that the brain is just there protecting you, and recognizing this tendency and consciously choosing to take action despite of it. That way you can overcome the obstacles and make the decision that will lead to the desired outcomes that you want. And also, it's important to remember that making a big decision is just the first step. So once you make the decision, then it's important to take action and follow through on that decision. So it's not only the big decision, but it's the decision after the decision that's equally important. It's actively working towards that decision that you made, towards that goal, and taking steps to bring it to life, and deciding how you're going to feel about the decision once you've made the decision, and that you're going to feel good about the decision, going all in on your decision, having your own back, and not regretting or second guessing yourself, which is going to happen. You're always going to have second thoughts or regrets, but it's deciding ahead of time how you're going to feel once you've made the decision. And this allows you to line up your energy behind the decision. So you're supporting yourself in this decision. That was the third reason why making a decision is so difficult. And the fourth reason is it's going to call forth a new version of ourselves that doesn't even exist. We have to become somebody different in order to achieve this outcome that we want. So we have to step out of our comfort zone. We have to take a risk, and we have to find these new strengths that are within us and the capabilities that we have, but we never knew we had them. We have to use those because they're in us. And this can lead to your personal growth and transformation, and it will help you create the life you truly want. And the fifth reason why it's so hard to make a big decision is there's right and wrong decisions. And our happiness depends on making the right decision. However, and I want to drill this in, that there are no right or wrong decisions. There's only decisions. And whatever decision, you're going to learn from it, which means that the decision you made may not give you the result you wanted. Making a decision, any choice, is going to put you on the path to taking steps and moving forward. And your joy and happiness isn't found in the decision. It's found in how you're thinking, regardless of the decision you make. So there's no right or wrong decisions. And in my own life, I've made several big decisions the past few years that transformed my life, from leaving a marriage, starting my coaching business, moving to new states or new towns by myself, investing a lot of money in my education and whatever expertise or certifications I wanted, I made a big decision to spend X amount of money to get that experience. And each decision has led me closer to the life I want to create for myself. And the last big decision I made was leaving the Carlsbad, California area for the beach area for the desert. And this was tough because I had all my closest friends. I love the area. It's beautiful. And I chose to start a new life in living back in the desert, which I had done previously 15 years in Arizona when I made the big move by myself from Idaho after I graduated from college to Arizona. And I didn't know if I wanted to move back to the desert. But I made the decision. I thought, I'm going to try it and see if I like it. And believe it or not, I absolutely love it. And I'm so grateful for living here. And this is such a beautiful area. And I made the right decision. And if it wasn't the right decision, then I would have moved somewhere else, but I would have learned. So this process of making these big decisions is difficult, but at the same time, every time you make a big decision, you're going to be so grateful for the growth and transformation that comes along with it. Now I want to give you 3 tips to making big decisions. And the first one, and this is one of the most powerful tools, is to create a vision. And this is the first step to helping you with your decision making. And a vision is an image in your mind of the life you want to have, the life you dream of. And it's in all the details and it's written out. And this is what you are living into, this vision. And when you have a clear vision for the life that you would love, then you can ask empowering questions based on the vision. Does this choice, so when you have to make a decision, does this choice move me closer or further away from the life that I would love? This question helps you make the decision. And there's so many benefits to decision making inside of your vision. I'll list them all just to let you know how powerful vision work is. The first one, you have an objective that you're after, and it makes your decision aligned with what you want. And you'll be more empowered to make quicker decisions. And your decisions are going to support your dreams and goals. And the choices that you have in front of you, you're going to be limited because you know where you're going. Also, the decisions you make will reflect your values in life and what's important to you. And no one else can help you with this. This is something that's only related to what's inside of you and your own values. And then you can line your decision up with what you want, who you want to be, and the kind of life you want to live. So making a big decision in the scope of your vision will help you move confidently and faster in the direction of your dream. You're making a decision from your future self. You're looking out into the horizon, whether it's 1 year, 3 years, and you're asking the question, what would my future self decide right now that is the best decision for the vision I have? The second tip to making a big decision is to aim for a quick decision. And most people will think that it's the longer you assess and gather information, the better decision you'll make. And that's not the case. When you spend too much time gathering information on all the possible choices for any decision, it can be more difficult. The more options you have, the more difficult it is to make the right decision for you. So if you struggle with making decisions, I want to emphasize to you, it's important to practice giving yourself a predetermined time limit. For every decision you make, practice weighing the pros and cons, doing your research, speaking with someone you are drawn to talk with. And then when you've reached the time limit, then it's time to make the final decision. And you make the decision, you decide how you're going to feel about the decision, and you're not going to have second guesses or regrets on making that decision. And the more you practice making quicker decisions, the better skilled you become. Practice making small decisions quickly. I remember doing this when I was going through my coaching certification, because I could never decide on what I wanted to eat at a restaurant. And then when I ordered, finally, after scanning through the menu and continuing to tell the food server that, oh, I need a few more minutes, I haven't decided yet. And then once I had the dish, then I regretted getting that dish. Oh, I wish I would have gotten the other fish dish, or I wish I wouldn't have had the beef this time. And in the morning, when you're picking your outfit out, pick quickly. And when you're buying an item at the grocery store, do you spend 10 minutes looking through all the products to figure out which product that you want? And I've decided, and this was a decision I made many years ago, was I don't like going to huge stores. So I'll give you an example, like a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's. I would much rather go to a smaller store to buy clothing, such as Banana Republic or a J. Crew or a Ann Taylor. So when I was buying for my job, I was going to these smaller places because there were less choices. And I didn't feel that stress and overwhelm of making decisions. So practice making decisions quickly with a time limit and with small decisions. And the third tip to making a big decision is to use your intuition. And what I mean by intuition is that gut feeling or a hunch. And there was a man named Seymour Epstein, and in his paper on the role of intuition, he defines intuition as a sense of knowing without knowing how one knows. I love that because it's so true. You have something flash up in your mind. You don't know where it came from, but it came from your subconscious mind. And you have to listen to that still small voice within. And when you do, you'll feel more empowered, aligned, and supportive of yourself. If you're feeling stuck or unsure about the direction of your life, I encourage you to take a closer look at the decisions you're making or not making in your life, in any area of your life. And the best practices for making decisions from your intuition are meditation, journaling, doing creative activities, alone time, taking walks or hikes in nature. So if you're stuck and ideas aren't flowing to you, take a break and do one of those activities and listen to that still small voice within and ask yourself, what big decision do I need to make in order to create the life I want? And is there a decision that I'm being called to make? And you can ask that, you can write it out, and just see what comes out. And then when you make the decision, how are you going to push through the discomfort and take action towards those goals? That's something else you have to consider once you've made the decision. And just remember, every decision you make has the power to shape your life. So choose wisely and trust in the process. And I don't want you to use a drinking game for all the times I said the word decision, because that would not be a good thing. But I'm just really dialing in and dissecting how important a big decision is and how transformative it is for your future. And I want you to know I'm over here cheering you on. I believe in the decisions that you're making, and you can borrow my belief. I hope you all have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out More You, my community of like-minded women. We show up to create the highest version of ourselves and elevate the quality of our everyday along the way. Head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/join. That's ontraclifecoaching.com/join. I'd love to see you in there. And if you haven't grabbed your copy of the Mindset Makeover, head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/makeover and get a copy that teaches and inspires you to show up as your most extraordinary self.